Now that you are in a deep trance, we are going to give you a trigger, or reinforce it if you already have it. The trigger phrase is "I am a squid dog." If you use this trigger phrase, or if someone that you trust says the trigger phrase "you are a squid dog," you will undergo the transformation that you are about to experience again at whatever speed you want. Additionally, you will instantly turn back into a human if you use the reset phrase "I am not a squid dog," or if someone that you trust says the reset phrase "you are not a squid dog." Now the transformation will begin. First, notice how there are several white puddles on the floor surrounding you. Curious as to what they are, you touch one of them, and realize that the white puddles are made of latex. The instant that you touch one of them, they start to shake as if they were boiling. Then, as if emerging from water, you start to see white tentacles come out of the puddles. As they start to wrap around your arms, legs, and torso, you find that you aren't afraid of them. In fact, the pressure of each of them around your limbs feels kind of satisfying. They don't completely restrict your movement, so you can move around in place a little bit, but if you try to move any part of your body more than a few inches, they hold you firmly in place. With your body firmly held, the tentacles start to produce more white latex which spreads onto you, quickly covering you from the neck down. It feels warm and soft, and looks strikingly similar to a long coat of soft and fluffy fur. In fact, it is so relaxing that it makes your mind become a bit hazy. Then, your finger and toenails become numb as the latex painlessly and quickly dissolves them, the latex fur and skin that replaces them leaving behind no trace of their existence. After that, you feel your fingers merging and changing shape so that you have 4 fingers on each of your hands, each of which is 1/4 as wide as your hands are and as long as your longest finger used to be. Of course, you won't actually only have 4 fingers on each of your hands, and you will use them like you normally would, but you will be completely incapable of perceiving yourself as not having only 4 fingers on each of your hands or even understanding any logic when it is applied in a way that directly suggests that this is not the case. However, you hardly notice this. The latex just makes you feel so warm and fuzzy that it's just too hard to focus on these changes. All you want to do is relax and enjoy the feeling of the latex. Next, feel your toes merging and changing shape so that you have 4 toes on each of your feet, each of which is 1/3 as wide as your feet are and as long as your longest toe used to be. Now, feel a slight pulling sensation on the undersides of your hands and feet as the fur on parts of them falls out to reveal your new latex paw pads. They are black and leathery, as well as slightly squishy. With your arms fully transformed, you start to feel a pulling sensation right below them as the latex begins to form an identical set of arms and hands. Your mind might be hazy with relaxation, but this gets your attention. It doesn't take long for your new arms and hands to form, and once they do, you spend a bit of time moving them around and getting used to your second set. It takes a bit, but you quickly become proficient at using all 4 of your hands at the same time. Of course, you won't actually have a second set of arms and hands, and you will act as if you only have 1 set of arms and hands, but you will be incapable of perceiving this and won't be able to understand any logic when it is applied in a way that directly suggests that you don't have 2 sets of arms and hands. Also, whenever you think that you use your second set of hands, you will actually be using your real hands, but your perception will be altered to make it look like you are using your other ones. However, you will be completely unaware of this. Now that you have gotten used to your new arms and hands, some of the extra tentacles gently wrap around them. However, you enjoy the pressure on your new limbs, finding it to be just as satisfying as on your other ones. In fact, it even makes you feel a bit safe. The tentacles will take care of everything and you know that you can trust them. With your new arms and hands complete, it is time for you to grow yet more limbs. Feel 4 pulling sensations on your back as white latex tentacles of your own start to grow. They are as wide as your arms are, spare the diamond-shaped section at the end where they get a bit wider. They are as long as you are tall, and on the bottom of the diamond-shaped parts of them there are black paw pads just like that of a dog. Of course, you won't actually have 4 tentacles that come out of your back, but you will be incapable of perceiving yourself as not having them or understanding any logic when it is applied in a way that directly suggests that you don't have them. Additionally, like with your second set of arms and hands, whenever you think that you are using your tentacles you will actually be using your real hands, but your perception will be altered to make it look like you are using your tentacles. However, you will be completely unaware of this. You feel so happy and relaxed that you almost don't notice them, and when they are finished growing you wrap them around the few extra tentacles that remain, knowing that is what they want and trusting them to do what is best for you. Now that the only human part of you left is your head, the tentacles start to guide you into a sitting or lying position if you are standing, no longer restricting your movement. Once you are lying or sitting down, you will feel the latex as it finally starts to cover your head. It feels so good as the latex spreads that warm and soft feeling across your face. As this happens, your hazy mind decides that it would be nice to pet yourself, and it feels so good and relaxing when you do. You truly are happy. When the latex reaches your mouth it goes inside of it, but you find that you actually enjoy the taste and feel of the latex that coats your mouth and tongue, not finding it to be even slightly gross or undesirable. As it continues to spread up your head it reaches your nose, at which point it starts to form a medium-length muzzle on your face. As it does, it covers and conceals your nose completely, but you can still breathe just fine. This is because there is a network of holes around where your nose is that are small enough to be invisible to the human and squid dog eye, but still big enough to allow enough air to flow through them. As the latex finishes moving up your head it covers your ears. Then, it changes them, moving them to the top of your head and making them be shaped like hollow cones that have been cut in half. Despite the differences between your new and old ears, you will find that your hearing is just as good as it was before the transformation began. In fact, you will find that your hearing seems to be much stronger in the directions that your ears are facing, being able to rotate them straight forwards, in the direction of the side of your head that they are on, and anywhere in between. In reality, your mind will just pay a lot more attention to sounds in the directions that they are facing, and less attention to sounds in the directions that they aren't facing, causing them to seem to be louder while ones from other directions seem to be quieter. However, you will be completely unaware that this is what is happening. With your entire body covered in latex, the tentacles start to flow into you until you have completely absorbed them. As this happens, you feel like your insides are turning to mush as the new latex painlessly dissolves all of the human parts of your body, replacing it with the internals befitting of a squid dog. When it is done, you feel like you are somehow both solid and slowly melting at the same time. If you aren't used to this feeling you will find it weird and maybe a bit disorientating at first, but quickly get used to it. Next, your irises turn as white as your latex body. As this happens, your mind changes in several ways. The first mental change is that you will always enjoy being wet, whether that be just because it is a humid day, you get caught in a torrential downpour, or you are taking a shower or a bath. No matter what the cause, you will find that the feeling of water against your latex body is absolutely wonderful, and that the wetter you are the better it feels. The second mental change is that when swimming, you will find that you can only swim like a squid does, bringing your arms, legs, and tentacles back, and then quickly moving them forwards. Even if you normally swim a different way, you will find that this is the only way that you can swim, your body unwilling to use any other method or stroke unless there is an emergency that requires you to swim fast or in a different way. The third and final mental change is that you will find that it feels very comforting to wrap yourself up in your tentacles and gently squeeze yourself with them. It will just feel so relaxing and make you feel so safe. Finally, each effect of this hypnosis file will become inactive if that effect is a risk to your physical body or your well-being, if it is a risk to your social or professional life, if there is an emergency that it would prevent you from dealing with to the best of your abilities, or if it is a risk to your mental health. Also, any effect of this hypnosis file that was an issue will become active again once it no longer will be one. Additionally, you will never find this hypnosis file or the effects of it to be even slightly addicting. Now you have been transformed into a squid dog, and have this wonderful new body as a result. Unfortunately, until now you hadn't even realized how the intensity of the transformation left you mentally drained. Also, you still feel wonderfully warm and soft courtesy of your latex body, and your mind is still hazy and relaxed, so you might want to just drift off into sleep. However, should you choose to stay awake you will find that while you will still feel warm and soft, your mental energy and the haziness in your mind will go away. Also, your relaxation will partially go away so that it is still very present, but not so much that it makes it harder to think. This session is almost over, so goodbye, my squiddy friend.